Hi there, and welcome to another episode of K&K Real Talk. Today I wanted to touch on two topics that have become very, very popular in our private groups. The first is the Abrivi medication, Orilissa, and a little bit about that and the case studies behind that. The second subject is going to be the new blood test that's come out and a little bit about that, the new blood test to diagnose endometriosis. So with the first subject of the medication Orilissa, now I've been seeing many people ask, have you tried this medication, or does anyone have any information about the medication? And here's a little bit about it. So in Canada, last year it was approved by Health Canada. Now, the case studies that they did are pretty small, so I'll just read you a little snippet from endometriosisnews.com. So, endometriosis causes a significant impact on the quality of life of women because of the debilitating, incapacitating pain. Women living with endometriosis can be subsided by the disease. Since there is no cure, the goal of treatment is to alleviate the symptoms and improve women's quality of health. With Orilissa, we are now able to offer our patients an additional new option that can help them resume living their lives. Now, Orilissa's approval was based on two studies of the data to support this. Now, it's the largest endometriosis phase 3 study program ever conducted, and the study is only including 1,689 women, which if there is 176 million women with endometriosis or suspected to have endometriosis, that's a super small number. So in my opinion, the case studies are not big enough to want to take this drug. It's fairly new on the market as well. It is made by the same company that makes Lupron, Abrivi, and a lot of people have been saying it's like an oral version of Lupron, which it's in the same family, but it is a bit different. The case studies on Lupron are a bit bigger, but there have been a lot of negative side effects that aren't as commonly noted and publicized, like people committing suicide or extreme bone density loss. Things like that aren't really reported out publicly because it looks bad upon the company. So just touching on that again, Abrivi's Orilissa approval for Health Canada was based on two studies with a total of 1,689 women. That is so small. So I always recommend doing your research beforehand. Yes, you can ask in the group about that. I would suggest searching in the search bar before you go ahead and post a question about Orilissa, because we've had so many. And so the second topic that I wanted to touch on today is the new blood test. So the new blood test was developed by MDNA Life Science along with researchers at Oxford University, and what they've recently announced is that they think that they have found biomarkers, which is basically a mutation in DNA that will diagnose endometriosis via a blood test. So it's not invasive, so you're not getting surgery to go in and actually see the disease. Now, the problem with this new blood test is that it has an even smaller amount of people in the case studies than the Orilissa does. So the study published in the Journal of Biomarkers in Medicine analyzes analyzed blood samples from 182 women prepared to undergo a laparoscopy for endometriosis. Currently, the only way to define a way to diagnose the only definitive way to diagnose endometriosis. So that's even smaller. So 182 women were sampled in this test, and they're saying 90% of what they sampled was correct, was endometriosis. So even if they use that high number of 90% or 9 out of 10 women to kind of lure us in and give us false hope, because we will get excited that there's going to be an easier way to diagnose endometriosis, and other people aren't going to go through surgery just to diagnose, to maybe have more surgery or other invasive treatments. So that's a very, very small amount. I mean, they'll have to do a lot more work and case studies to get way more information. I think that is way too small of a number to actually get accurate information of that this test or this biomarker gene mutation is actually what's going to be able to diagnose endometriosis. So I wouldn't get too excited about it right now. It's just come out. Yes, they may have been working on it for a while, but these things take a really long time. It takes years and years to develop drugs and ways to diagnose diseases. So keeping in mind that those two things are very popular in the group, I want you to do your own research. So use the search bar in the private groups and search online. You can Google, you can ask me directly, you can go ahead and you can message me if you have any questions. I'm always around to help. So keep in mind that you need to do your own research. Don't just go on what other people say, or don't just take the first treatment that your doctor offers you. I want you to ask them, okay, what are all my options? Can you write them down for me? Go home, research each option, weigh out the pros and cons for you, for yourself, because treatment for endometriosis is very individual and it's a whole body disease. So you need to take a look and be mindful of what's going on in your body. What's your body telling you? So do your research, advocate for yourself. Make sure that you're getting all the information from your doctor. If you don't feel like you're getting all the information, or you don't feel comfortable with the information that you've got, or the way that that information was presented to you, I strongly suggest you seek out a second option, a third option, a fourth option. I want you to find a doctor or an endometriosis specialist or a whole team that you are completely comfortable with, that you can depend on and that you trust. It's hard to find a person to meet every part of that need. Like, you need a therapist that you're comfortable with, and you need a family doctor that you're comfortable with, and you need an endometriosis specialist that you're comfortable with. So you need to really work and feel whatever you're feeling, listen to your body, and do what's best for you. Find the people that you're comfortable with, and then set up a team that you can be 100% safe with. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Send me a private message. Send the page a private message. And as always, it was great to have you guys, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much.